Hey Trendsetters!
Welcome to the Elevating Aesthetics Podcast.
I'm Megan Theus.
And I'm Brittany Perez. And today we have our friend Donna Dickey on, owner of Yoga Abode since 2018. And we really just wanted to hear about your business, how things have been for you over the last, 7 years with your business. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me on. Yeah, so I love to teach yoga and started Yoga Abode as a pop-up studio. So no brick and mortar. I go pop up at sites just like I came here and did the pop-up yoga here. I have classes that I teach out at the beach, and then I do monthly wellness events, restorative yoga events where I just pop up at different locations.
Yes, so you came here, it's been a year now because it's time for us to set up another one. It's cooling off.
It was actually my
Your
birthday.
Your birthday.
That's
in
what I
May,
did
yes.
for my birthday. It was so much fun.
That was so fun. Literally took over and created a pop-up studio in your parking lot.
Yes, and I didn't know what to expect because I've taken hot yoga and I've taken regular flow yoga, but I've never taken restorative yoga. So tell us what the difference between those are.
Yes, so restorative yoga is where there is no activation in the muscle groups. So it's all about relaxation of the body, the muscles, but also the mind, just quieting the mind, focusing on the breath, using the breath to help you to relax, and just no activation in the muscle groups. Every pose feels good. You hold the pose to really allow for the body to create space to release and let go of any tension, tightness, stress, or pain that the body's holding on to. And sometimes it takes us slowing down to even know what we're holding on to or what we need to release and let go of. So it's a really special practice.
Do you feel like people ever cry whenever they are doing your yoga sessions?
Yes.
Because it's so much mindfulness and so much relaxation, because I feel like it's on both ends, because in our clinic, whenever we inflict pain, sometimes people let go of emotion. And then I was wondering with you if you see that as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's such a beautiful thing when someone feels that safety to be able to release, especially in like a group setting when you're in a class setting. But specifically like hip openers, that's where we store our emotion and energy. And so when we focus on hip opening poses, you create that space and opening in the body where physically the release happens. And so it might come out in the form of tears, laughter. So it's really sweet. And I love people feel that comfort and safety to be able to do that or let go.
Yeah.
But also just focusing on the breathing allows that too. Like when you're mindful of your breath is your greatest teacher of allowing you to let go.
That's so awesome.
How do we use our breath like during the day? Because it is so important, and we do build up stress because we're not fully relaxing. So is there something that we can do a few times a day? What are your key tips for that?
Yes, so I think the most important thing is to be aware of your breath. And I say in every yoga class, when we own our breath, no one can take our peace. And so when we're feeling flustered or overwhelmed or whatever, any sort of emotion, hot, good or bad, to just like come back to our breath. And sometimes even just placing like left hand on your heart, right hand on your belly, but like noticing the belly rise and fall. Like this just sometimes is just, and it's just like a very safety, like comforting way to just come back to your breath, but just to be aware of your breath. That is yoga. You're connecting your breath to your body, whether that's in movement or stillness. And so even though I don't cue every inhale, exhale, I want people to find that breath that feels good and calming to you. You can take that off the mat. That's like the beauty of yoga. And back to the crying and healing, I believe every time you step onto your mat, you invite space for healing and release. And so that's how yoga got me, was that became my place to be able to go
place
to
of
heal.
comfort and healing.
Yeah.
I need to do that every day then.
Same. Let's have some mats that
yeah.
we put in our room and get out in between
And there
patients.
are poses that you can do sitting right here, sitting over a counter, you can stretch and lean and just, closing down your eyes, going inward, focusing on your breath. It's important. And especially if y'all are on your feet or you're giving of yourselves, like it's important to just go inward. Come and just, even if it's for 1 minute or 30 seconds.
I think that is one part of our job, which we love our patients, but once you've spoken to like 25 patients throughout the day and like asked how they're doing, and you've taken in so much information, and especially you're going to have patients that are not having a good day or they're going through something hard in their life. It's kind of like being a therapist. And at the end of the day, like we're physically and mentally exhausted in the best kind of way, but I think doing something like that to help us release would be.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of pressure. They're coming and relying on you to make them feel good or better. And so you're giving more than just a treatment.
Yes.
So
How long were you doing yoga before you obviously had this love for it to want to start your own business?
yes. So I started yoga in 2008, and I was in my 20s. My cousin invited me to a class. It was at a Jewish community center, but it was amazing. And I was living in Charlotte at the time, and so yoga was like definitely like trending. or it just had become on my radar. But I went to a class, loved it, and then I realized there's all these studios, and then there's all these different types of teachers and classes. So I really started just trying all the different kinds of yoga and realizing like they all have such power, special, whether it's a restorative class, yin, vinyasa, hot yoga, there's so many types. And so I tell people to like, please don't take one yoga class and have that be your experience. Like try teacher, especially in Pensacola, like go and we have amazing studios, amazing teachers here. Like try all the different types of yoga.
I don't guess I realized there were that many different types of yoga.
I've taken quite a few different classes. Like I was telling her, I've gone to URU, and I had taken the hot yoga where you're in the room with the steam, and I've taken yours, which is amazing, and hers is my favorite because it's relaxing.
Yes. When you came to the event where we had a massage therapist offering hands-on touch, a sound bath happening, so I really try to create an experience, and that also, just that space and experience also opens up the door for healing too.
Yes,
that's how we feel here too. It's all about the client experience. You come here for a service. There's so many places that offer the exact same services, but what makes us stand apart is the patient experience. From the moment you walk in until you leave. So I love that.
Yeah.
If you could tell me what your favorite place to do yoga was, I actually did some research and I saw you've been all over the world. You've traveled everywhere.
Yes.
So what was your favorite place?
Okay, so yes, I mean, I've got like memories of being at the Wanderlust Festival in Sydney, Australia, got to do yoga in Bali, Hawaii, but my yoga at the Red Rocks was amazing. But the ultimate was being in India, which is where I did my certification. I was there for 3 months and did a 28-day certification, but just being where it originated, like that is the Mecca and that is where yoga originated, was the like most surreal experience. And I chose to go, there's yoga schools all over India, but I chose to go to Rishikesh, which is up in the mountains. So it's the Himalayan mountains, the Ganges River like runs through the town. I stayed in an ashram, like the experience was just amazing. And we were doing 3 hours of yoga a day, 90 minutes in the morning and 90 at night.
Wow.
And so it was just like the most intense like retreat experience, and the learning. So I definitely would have to say India.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I am really big on reading and podcasts. Do you have any favorite books or podcasts that you go to for like mindfulness?
I love masterclass. Just like all the different master classes, whether it's cooking, relationships, skincare. I mean, I love all the master classes. And then reading is such a great tool for growth, and I'm always wanting to grow and better myself. So
yes,
yeah,
that's what I find myself just picking up different books. I just picked up a book when we went on vacation, and it was your personal MBA, because I thought I was like going to go back and get a master's degree in business, and I was like, no, I'm just going to read a few books.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's so much to offer just from authors that have written. They did the school, and now I'm just going to take all the key pearls that you can give me.
Exactly.
Yes.
The important stuff.
Yes, the important stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a daily routine that keeps you grounded? I mean, when you wake up in the morning, do you do yoga every day?
I wish it was every day. It's not. But I love, and I'm so energized by going to classes. And so I still just try to attend, I tried doing virtual classes, and I've done a few, and I do have a couple teachers that I really like to follow, but I like that in-person connection and being led and having the energy of people around me. And there's just something so motivating to look, especially like at a midday class. I'll go to a noon class at Uru, and just to see people taking time out of their day. And I also have realized like too, my morning routine, that is my yoga off the mat. Like waking up, making my matcha, having my quiet time, planning my day, being intentional with my day, like that all has translated from my class and practice on my mat. So there's yoga off the mat too.
And being a solo, what do you call a yoga-er? What is your...
I don't...
People that do yoga,
people say yoga. Yeah, I don't really use that word. I'm not against that word. I mean, technically, I guess I am.
We call ourselves injectors, even though we're nurse practitioners. I didn't know if there was like a word. But my question was, if you, what was your transition like going from someone that just does solo yoga on your own to being a business owner? Like, what was that transition like? Because they're two very different things, and we know as business owners, there's a lot more that goes into it.
Okay, so funny story how my business came about, and even just for me moving from student to even teacher. So the India experience, I honestly, and you'll hear a lot of teachers say this, like the yoga teacher training experience is also personal development. And it was me, I was doing so much yoga, and I also feel like with my height and just awkwardness of like, I don't look like other people in poses, I'm like, I just wanted to learn. I wanted to learn, and choosing India was like the root of like the foundation, the physiology, psychology behind the yoga practice, but also just the poses and just being in proper alignment and stuff was important to me. So when I chose to go to India, I never thought I'd be teaching. Like, honestly,
it was for you.
I did the 28-day immersion, and it was like a retreat. No caffeine, no alcohol, being in an ashram, like it was just this whole experience that I just was really like excited for. Well, then fast forward, I get back, and it was like 6 months later, I get a phone call for someone asking me to do a private. And I was like, oh shit. Like I got trained how to do a class, but that was like, that's not even what I was like taking in. I was taking in the experience. I'm literally on YouTube and Googling how to do a private, which I realized like the private was so cool because you customize for that person, whatever their needs are, specific poses, or if they're like, I have an injury. But that is really where my growth began, and where like, so I was doing this private with a couple in their home 3 nights a week. And I mean, that propelled me to like really just dive in. I didn't have my business then. Like, so I started doing privates. Well, then I realized, then I got asked to come sub at the Y. Freaked out because I was like the whole class setting. But then after like a few classes, I fell in love. And I realized I don't have to be perfect. Like it's not even about me. Like I'm there, I'm offering these poses, and I had to just take that pressure off. And so I realized like how much I love this. I wanted to start doing retreats and these pop-up events. So then I created the business just because I'm like, this is a business, and I wanted to treat it like a business, and I'm being paid, so I needed to legally create the business. So
you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Your branding is amazing, and your voice is very calming, and your class structure is set up very well. So
thank you.
You've done a great job.
Well, it's been really fun, and it's been fun to have a business that you can grow and to get to play with branding. And I have another girl locally here, Lauren Gunn, that has been amazing just with helping me. And also she helped me to like learn my brand, or like create the brand, not just throw a logo and this and that, but like really
your vision and
yes,
your mission.
like really. And she's like sat with me to help me like and my mission, the Yoga Abode mission, is to make yoga accessible to everyone. And I do my best, and that's why I love the restorative, is any and everyone can do it.
True.
You do not, people say, well, I'm not flexible, I've never done yoga. Like, perfect, this is the class for you.
Let's show them a pose they can do in their chairs right now.
Okay,
it's one good pose.
Seated cat-cow. So just rest your hands on your knees and start to round the back and spine. Drop your head. Feel the spine reach and stretch. Shake your head out. Got it? Nod it yes and shake it no. And then come to your cow pose. Open up. Feel the heart and chest open. Gaze up. Back bend. And then when you're ready, release. Come back to your seated cat. And then you just kind of move and flow through this. You can inhale, exhale, cat-cow. You can hold for a full breath. But just opening up, it helps to realign your spine, helps to improve your posture. Now you can do, cat-cow is where you're on your hands and knees doing this, but you can do this from a seat.
Well, Britt had hip surgery, as you know. It's been a year already, hasn't it?
Yeah, you're in December.
Almost. Close. I didn't realize that we carried so much tension in our hips, so Britt needs to be doing some hip exercises to release some tension.
We all do, and even just laying in bed, I just bring the soles of my feet together and let my knees open and fall away from each other. And if it's too much to do both, do one at a time. Okay. So it'll look like tree pose if you've got like one leg out, but just gentle hip openers. The closer you move your foot in, the greater and deeper stretch you'll feel. If it's too much, you just inch the foot away. Awesome. And also, legs up the wall is my favorite yoga pose, and you can do hip openers at the wall. So legs up the wall has so many benefits, but that's the pose that I love to do. It's ideal if you can hang out in that same pose for 20 minutes, but even just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you just are extending the legs up the wall. You have the support of the wall, but you can open up the hips from there, just splitting the legs, open and away from each other, bringing the soles of the feet together, dropping the feet down, and just do the reclined bound ankle pose with the support of the wall. The heart is in a lower position, blood's flowing and circulating in opposite directions, sending that blood flow to your core, to your vital organs. But so many things are happening. A calmness takes over your body, your heart, your mind, blood pressure drops, heart rate lowers. It helps with insomnia. It helps fight anxiety, depression, like so many things happen. That's my go-to pose for anyone with anything. Takes all pressure off the back. Also, y'all are standing on your feet all day. We don't give our feet enough TLC, so this just is taking a load off the feet, letting the blood just move and flow.
Lauren, that would probably feel good.
Yes.
She's pregnant with twins.
Yes.
I bet that would feel relaxing to her for just a few minutes.
Yes.
Especially with the low back. A lot of you carry the low back.
That's where she's actually been having some pain recently, is her back.
Legs up the wall. And if she can't do, because of I don't know how big she is, split the legs, and then you get that hip opener too. Also, plant your feet on the wall, which is that reclined frog pose. That is the birthing pose. And I've done some prenatal privates, and we do that pose at the wall, and it'll feel good too, like that. And you have the support of the wall too, so it's not like the legs are just in the air. You have the support of the ground. and it just takes all pressure off the low back.
I'm ready to do a class right now. Let's go.
I mean, I will take this jacket off.
If you could leave us with one piece of advice on what people can do for better mindfulness, to be healthier, to like get into yoga, what would that one piece of advice be?
Gosh, I mean, I say practice. It's practice. You know, so many people, I feel like there's so much intimidation about yoga, or people like seeing crazy headstands and poses, which those are fun. I mean, it's so much fun to have fun and grow with your practice and push yourself. But I feel like there's so much intimidation of people being afraid to come to their mat and to try yoga. But I know that's been it's been a game changer for me of my whole mind, body, wellness, healing, and don't be afraid to come to your mat. And then just coming back to the breath. Our breath, I mean, that we have control of our breath. Our breath is powerful. Our breath is our greatest teacher. Our exhale teaches us to let go. And so many of us, we're carrying the weight of stuff that we do not need to be carrying or holding on to, or we just don't let go. And that starts to create tension in the body and tightness in the body, which leads to sickness and disease. And so yoga is just, I mean, I come back to yoga or the breath, all about just creating that opening and space for release and using your breath.
And I think that's true at any age. I think about my son whenever he was 6 or 7 and he was going through a hard time, and the way we would help calm him down was by take 10 deep breaths. Yes, and he would just sit there and he would be crying and emotional, but by the time those 10 breaths were done, he would be back to normal and he would be fine. So it's just any age it works.
And there's so many different like easy little breathing things that you can do. I love this just too, just that calming of like, it's like a safety, like I'm okay, like that heart, hand over your heart and belly just reconnects you to your body, to your breath. Also taking like the deepest inhale and then another and then exhale, like do that 3 times. Your headspace is you're in a different space.
We teach our patients that. You know, you don't know how often you actually use these wellness techniques.
Or do they hold their breath when
a lot
they
of them
hold
do.
their breath? They're
and
not
we're
breathing.
like, remember to keep breathing, take a deep breath. We do that every day.
And I started playing tennis, and my coach is like having to remind me about breathing, and I'm like, I know the breathe, but like, but I'm you know, that exhale when you, I mean, it's all so connected.
Yes.
So even that, I'm like, I've got, you know, and that's yoga off my mat too. But we don't realize, like, and then when we hold our breath, energy is being, and it translates to tight shoulders, tight hips, and ultimately pain in the body. And a lot of people find yoga because their doctor's like, you need to go stretch. You're tight, or this injury happened because you weren't stretching or whatever. So, but just the breath is so powerful.
I love that. Tell everyone how to find you.
Okay, Yoga Abode on Instagram, on Facebook. My website is I Am Abode, IAMABODE. I've got my classes, information for my weekly classes, which I do the Tiki Bar on Tuesdays, Slow Flow. That's a fun class. You'll have to come try that one. That's really fun. Gentle Slow Flow, accessible to everyone at every level. And then my monthly full moon events will be on there too. And then, social, Instagram, Facebook.
Yes. We need to plan another class for the Mila team.
We do.
We've gotten a lot of new girls since we did my birthday yoga, and I think that it would be a great team building exercise.
Yes. And the pop-ups, So
it must have been a cool day in May.
I don't know it was not bad. But it was literally on my birthday.
It was, I remember.
Outside.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we all didn't die, but.
Well, it was early enough that it wasn't too hot yet, and the sun was out. The sun felt good,
but
it wasn't.
Was at like 8 or 8:30.
It was early, before y'all opened.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
I loved it. But I am a huge proponent of your classes.
Thank you.
And we're so happy to have you on.
Thank you for having me. I love that y'all are doing this. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.